Chicago. He's in his first season as the assistant head coach and offensive line coach for Tulane. He spent the last 2 seasons with Willie Fritz at Georgia Southern as offensive line coach after previously coaching at UT Marshall, and Itawamba Community College. Joe Horn would be proud. As a player, he was a 4-year starter at guard for UT Martin, twice earning all Ohio Valley Conference honors. Tulane will host Navy Saturday at 6 p.m. at Yeoman Stadium. Please give a warm Greater New Orleans Sports Foundation Quarterback Club welcome to Coach Alex Atkins of Tulane University.
Appreciate it. First of all, I want to say one thing I always like about these events, I admire high school coaches, because we in college, we're fortunate enough to get kind of the finish, not the finished product, but they see the kids when they can't put on the shoulder pads and they got on knee pads where the thigh pads go. And we get them and we just say, he's kind of raw. So coach, you should have seen him when he's a freshman. So I just appreciate high school coaches teaching those guys how to play football. Well, number one, I feel bad for some of y'all because you get to hear the O-line coach. We usually the ones in the back. They hide us because sometimes we're a little too truthful. We don't know how to sugarcoat much things, you know. So I apologize for some of the rawness you're gonna get today. That's gonna be a little bit bad. But I've loved New Orleans ever since I wanted to live here even since I was young, being from Chicago. I don't know if they know what winter time is in New Orleans, but I can pretty much show you when you come over to my house, my mom's house in December. So I'm loving the weather and things like that. Another thing I'm loving about Tulane is that at most places I've been to, this is kind of a thing we need to change, but when you lose, they give you a hug. And when you win, they give you a bigger hug. So I think we need to change that a little bit, where we got to start getting, I'm used to getting punched in the face when we lose a little bit. So I want to get that back on track. But kind of in football, everybody's kind of the head coach of their own position. So I'm the head coach of the offensive line. So today I'm kind of talking about what we're trying to strive to do at Tulane at offensive line. Number one is I like when I hear head coaches speak, because they talk about, building leadership and team morale and grooming young men and things like that. Well, I'm kind of a walking adversity for offensive line. I let coach handle that. I am the incarnate, I don't want to say devil, but I'm pretty rough on the offensive line, because I see we don't have any big guys in here, so everybody looks like they all go to Smoothie King and run at 5 a.m. in the morning around here, so y'all know what I'm talking about. But offensive linemen are very conveniently lazy. What that means is, if I allow them to be a little bit lazy, they're going to be a lot of bit lazy. So what I am is, I'm the walking, I am one of the, if anybody y'all came to watch the Tulane practice, it's pretty early in the morning, but just put it like this, they don't get a lot of rest time. I wear them out as much as possible. And the point of that is because offensive linemen need to know that being fat is not an excuse. Football is an athlete sport, so just because you're big, you need to be a big athlete. So we're always on the move. I see no line coach over there know exactly what I'm talking about. Now it builds my confidence, because you can see I'm not a Smoothie King guy. I don't run at 5 a.m. An O-line coach is the only fat dude in the world that can call another dude fat and it'll be okay. So I get to enjoy that a little bit. I get to see what some of you little guys go through when y'all talk about us big guys. But basically what I create in practice is, there's a quote on my board that says, warriors, victorious warriors, win the game first and then they go play the game. Defeated warriors go to the game looking for a win. So practice is designed to prepare you to already win. You should already win it. Coach Fritz has a great quote when he says, the hay is not in the barn until that kicker's toe hits the ball on that first kickoff. Meaning we prepare all the way up to that point. It's not the last practice in the hay in the barn. It's not over. Our mental preparation starts right after that last practice. So it goes from physical preparation to mental preparation. And that's mostly what I'm working on. Those big guys, for y'all that are married, and my wife will be attest to this, I don't do anything I don't have to do. If it's not a necessary deal, I don't want to do it. If it's not, it's got to be necessary for me to move. That's just big guys. So every drill I do, every meeting we have, I have to show them evidence of why they're doing it. I always tell coaches, you waste a lot of time doing drills you can't show them in the game. Like, we're doing this drill for this reason right here. And that usually motivates them a little bit more. They usually say, okay, this is why I'm doing it. So everything I do, I have to give them some type of example in the game of why we're doing it. And I'm at Tulane University. I know some might think this is a little stereotypical, but those guys, some of them are pretty sharp, smart guys. So they love to question and say, well, coach, why are we doing this? I don't understand why you can't, Back in the old days, you could just say, shut up and do what I tell you to do. It's not done like that anymore. You better have a good reason, and you better be able to prove to them why they're doing that drill. So everything I do is for a rhyme or reason. Number one, that creates efficiency, because now we're working efficiently, and it motivates them because you can see why you're doing it, and nobody wants to be the worst guy on the field. I tell the O-linemen, we're already the worst group. When people look at us, they say, oh, they're that O-line, and ain't nobody, too many pretty guys in there. But we got to be the ones that win. So that's another thing we're trying to change. A lot of offenses say that they go through the offensive line. The offensive line has to be great. They got to be able to block. They got to be tough. But we all know, us being adults in competition, that's not true. There's a lot of schools that just throw three-step and reach and run and play through their skill players. Our offense is not designed for that. Offense has to go through the offensive line. We like to say we led the country in rushing the last 2 years. My stat was we led the country in between the tackle rushing. If the quarterback pulls the ball and scores a touchdown, we didn't do anything. The end squeezed. So I tell my kids, you got to learn the difference between celebrating and congratulating. If the quarterback pulls the ball and scores a touchdown, you go tell him, congratulations. We appreciate you scoring that touchdown for us. If the running back breaks in the A gap and scores a touchdown, then the big guys get to celebrate a little bit. It's a little difference. So I tell my line, don't celebrate when the quarterback pulls the ball and goes for 90. It's just, he's better than the end. So basically, that's all it is. But that's what I'm trying to build at Tulane. Number one is we're going to play the game through the offensive line. Now, I like the group I have because they're doing everything they can. They're doing exactly what I tell them to do. They're working real hard. They're doing everything they can to put themselves in a position to win. So I hope for them we have some success. Now, of course, there's some limitations in athletic ability and things like that. But what I'm enjoying is that those kids are 100% bought in. They're not questioning. We came in and we threw a lot on them. Number one was discipline. We checked from class to eating. We had meal checks, nutritionists. I don't let them wear anything in games. They hit on these back flaps and visors. And I said, look, we ain't gonna go out there and wear that stuff. But they all bought into it. So that's good. And I've been appreciated that. So I think in the future, looking towards Navy, I always have a different feeling when we play in academy school, because I tell them I appreciate those guys for what they're doing at those schools. No, they're taking a commitment 5 years after they graduate. And they chose to do that. They wasn't made, they had alternate routes in life. A lot of guys go to the recruitment center and they sign up because that's the only option. These guys are smart kids that did great in school, have recommendations, and they chose to help, to serve and protect us. So I said for 364 days, those guys got to be tougher than us. I said for 1 day, we got to be able to punch them in the face. So just that 1 day, we got to be better than them. But I really love playing academy because I appreciate what those guys do. Only time I don't like them is the 1 day we play them on those Saturdays. So it's always a different deal playing academy school. But Navy is just like you expect them to be. They're tough, they're disciplined, they're physical. We got to match that. And I think it's going to be a great challenge, especially for the offensive line. So that's all I have, unless anybody else has any questions. Go ahead, sir.
Size-wise, how does this line compare with other sizes?
We're too big right now. A lot of times, I'm a little different as an O-line coach. I don't like, some people see 6'5", 350 pounds and they think, oh, well. What I think is the guy he's blocking is probably going to be 6'3 and a half, 6'4", 260 pounds. He's going to run a 4'7", 4'6 possibly. So we're a little bit too big. We had some guys lose a bunch of weight, which is good. I like length, so sometimes you like the height. But right now I got a right guard that's about 357 pounds, Levi Brown. He was 378 when I got there. So he had to come down. Chris Taylor, he was 351 when I got there. He's 328. So we're still not where we're at. We want to get to that 315, 310 range and try to find some length, because that's how you create distance. There's a lot of great football players out there, especially in high school, that are great football players, and I always ask, why am I not getting recruited? Well, I always tell a kid, if a kid ever come to my camp, I always be honest with him. I talk to him, I say, well, just because if you stretch your arms out like this, if they can't separate from that defender, that guy's going to be too close to you. And you can't, if he gets close to you, he makes a move, you're not long enough to create that distance and recover with your feet. So length is important, athleticism is important, and about 310 to 315 is what I'm looking for. Some guys go height. I can take a 6'2 guy with the wingspan, his length is making him 6'4. So more length and about 310 to 315 is what I'm looking for to do what we do to have success. Anybody else? That's it. Thank you.